Hey everybody, Zach again at newtutorial.com, coming in making a video for you today. The Mandela Effect. I've gotten about a dozen emails over the last week or so of people sending me videos or text messages or whatever, and sending me videos in these messages about the Mandela Effect and asking me if I've seen this or what I think about it. And no, I do not agree with the Mandela Effect. Just to let you know that up front. Now let me give you some reasons why. This has been out for a while. It's been talked about for a while. It's coming back around for some reason. You know, it just has its cycles, I guess. But this has been out since like 2010 or 13 or something like that. Anyway, so this is the big... if you don't know what the Mandela Effect is, the Mandela Effect supposedly is because it was widely believed that Nelson Mandela died in prison when, in fact, that's not true. Nelson Mandela went on to be the president of South Africa and then did some other things, you know, after that too. So, I mean, and so everyone believes that he died in prison, but in fact he didn't. And so people use that as an example or evidence of that there was a glitch in the matrix and that the space-time continuum somehow changed. And, you know, so it's a conspiracy theory, basically. And I like conspiracy theories, especially when it comes to end days, last days stuff. Folks, you're never going to see me poo-pooing this stuff because, you know, what may be a distraction or a deception. And I don't want to, you know, just automatically cast doubt on everything because our Messiah told us to keep watch, okay? But this is not a conspiracy. This is something that has been made up and has been just propagated by uneducated, you know, ignorant people. It is. And all it takes for a lot of these things is just to go research some of these cases, and you'll find real quick that this stuff is not real. And really what it comes down to is a distraction. Some of the examples that people give for the validity of the Mandela Effect, number one is like the Berenstain Bears. If you ask a lot of people about the Berenstain Bears, people will think that it's spelled S-T-E-I-N. And it's not. It's spelled Berenstain, not Berenstain, Berenstain, S-T-A-I-N, and not E-I-N. So people have gotten that confused, and they say, see, this is a glitch in the Matrix. This is the Mandela Effect. You know, they've changed something again, and they've changed the Berenstain Bears. Because people, you know, when you ask them how to spell Berenstain Bears, they will spell it S-T-E-I-N. I mean, which one of us adults do not have the Berenstain Bears in your children's book collections? Most people do. But it's spelled S-T-A-I-N. It has always been spelled S-T-A-I-N. And for people to suggest that this is some sort of a glitch in the Matrix, it's just foolhardy. Because people will say, well, I really remember that it was spelled S-T-E-I-N. This is just proof that they're changing things. It must be CERN. There must be something, you know, the world's elite are changing things. They're adjusting the Matrix. See, there really is a Matrix, Zach. And it's not. If this was the case, Jan and Bill Berenstain, who wrote the books, their family is still living. The son has taken it over and is still writing children's books starting in, I think, like 2012. And so the family is still around. If that's the case, wouldn't the family be like, you know what? It just really seems that I'm writing my name S-T-A-I-N when I used to spell my name. It seemed like I used to spell my name S-T-E-I-N. You know, what happened? It seems like, you know, if the family of the Berenstain family had come out and said, you know what, I just used to remember spelling my name, you know, E-I-N all these years, and now it's A-I-N, you know, that's weird. Okay, then you might have something. But they don't. Folks, you would have to, like, change the matrix of that whole family and them not know it. No, it's always been A-I-N. You know, a lot of the you see this picture right here where it shows the Berenstain Bears and then a TV guy with Berenstain Bears. Folks, this is just a simple misspelling in the TV guide. People misspell things. In fact, if you go to Wikipedia and you look under the Berenstain Bears, I think there's been like 30 different companies over the years that have held licenses to produce products for the Berenstain Bears. 30 different companies. Folks, you can have misspellings. That does happen. If you don't believe misspellings happen, go on Facebook once in a while. People misspell stuff, or they spell things the way they think they are, and they realize that later on realize that it's not spelled that way. You know, the TV guide as proof text that there was a glitch in the Matrix is not proof text. I'm sorry, it's just not. So that's, they use that to prove that there was a glitch in the Matrix, and that the world's elite are changing things. Anyway, it gives some scriptural evidence as well. And one of the ones they use is Mark 2:22, when it says wineskins. In most of your modern translations, it says wineskins for Mark 2:22. And in fact, it's always been bottles in the King James. The King James has always been bottles. And in fact, the Geneva Bible, it's always been vessels. Vessels for the Geneva Bible. See, this is how things used to be. This was how it was referred to back in the old King James English and the old 1600s English, language. It was called bottles. It's always been bottles, folks. It's bottles. The reason I know this is because early on in my adult walk, I realized that this whole, Welch's grape juice thing was nuts, and that really our Messiah did turn this juice, this grape juice was alcoholic. He turned water into alcoholic grape juice. And, the many references in your Bible are talking about alcoholic wine, because there is no way possible. They didn't have refrigeration back then. They didn't have manufacturing plants that could vacuum seal bottles. Folks, the only way you preserved the fruit or the juice of any fruit back then was to ferment it, create alcohol in it, to a degree enough that it would preserve the juice so that you could keep it for long-term storage. The alcohol was the preservative. That's the only way you preserved it. There is no other, way around this. That's the only way you can do it, is preserve it with alcohol. And so all wine in the Bible is alcohol. He had wine at Passover, before at the Last Supper, right? Okay, grapes are harvested in the fall, but Passover is in the springtime. You don't keep juice that long without it going bad. It just doesn't happen. So how did you preserve it? You used alcohol. Well, in the King James English, it was bottles. It's always been bottles. I researched that long ago. It's always been bottles in the King James. In fact, you can find all kinds of references on the internet about old leather bottles, all over the place. They still make them today, for using to drink ale or wine or all kinds of things. In fact, here is a poem written in 1635 and what is titled The Reign of Charles II. A leather bottle we know is good, far better than glasses or cans of wood. For when a man's at work in the field, your glasses and pots no comfort will yield. But a good leather bottle standing by will raise his spirits whenever he's dry. It's leather bottles, folks. It's just but people who are uneducated, who won't do a degree of research, just hear something and they go with it. Guys, I learned a phrase when I was in the military that has served me well all the rest of my life. It's this: believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Let me say that again, real slow. Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. The reason that phrase became so popular in the military, because there was always different rumors about where you're getting deployed to. Oh, I heard from command that we're going to be deployed to Korea, or we're going to be going to Kuwait, or we're going to be going to, wherever. And 99% of it was always false. It was just rumors. And so one day my NCO got our squad together and he was like, hey, listen, guys, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. And that has stuck with me my entire life, because it remains true for almost everything in your life. Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. So this whole thing about the Mandela Effect, example after example that they give you can be proven false, can be proven wrong. And yeah, their only case for making this is that, oh, well, there was a glitch and so you can't research it because it's all been changed everywhere. You know what? Trees used to be blue. You don't remember it, but trees used to be blue. Before there were color pictures, trees were blue. But see, because there's been so many years of trees being green, in color photos, that we've forgotten it. But prove me wrong. Trees have always been blue. It just are. They've just always been blue. And now, because there was a glitch in the Matrix, they're green now. Prove me wrong. The internet, Facebook, is full of so much ignorant stupid. It's unbelievable. It's just crazy. Oh, the throbbing's back. Guys, I'm all about conspiracy theories. I like to keep watch. Our Messiah said to keep watch. But folks, this is just a distraction. Go find a poor widow who can't pay her electric bill and pay that bill. Go find someone who can't feed their family and give them money for food or bring them food. Love your neighbor as yourself. Because on that day when you stand before him, you want to hear those words. You really do. Well done, good and faithful servant. He's not going to say those words to you if you spend all your life trying to track down whether it was Berenstain or Berenstein or whatever. You're just not going to hear it. He's not going to say, well done, good and faithful servant. You got to the bottom of the Mandela Effect. Thanks for sharing the word. It's not going to happen, folks. You're wasting your time. And the enemy is having a field day with these distractions. All right, we'll leave it at that. Go home, read your Bible. Thanks.